David Tua is widely regarded as one of the greatest punchers in boxing history. Born in Samoa and raised in New Zealand, Tua won a bronze medal at the 1992 Olympics before making an impact in the professional boxing world. Known for his raw power and incredible talent, Tua made up for his relatively short stature. Standing at 5'10", with his relentless fighting style and formidable knockout power, particularly his signature left hook. By the time he retired, Tua had amassed a professional record of 52 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws, with 43 of his victories coming by knockout. This video will highlight all of David Tua's knockouts, focusing on the fights that are available online. David Tua versus Ron Humes, December 1992. Tua made his professional debut against American Ron Humes in a 4-round bout. Tua needed only 27 seconds to end the fight with a crushing left hook that sent Humes to the canvas instantly. This was just the beginning of what would become an explosive career.
He's been knocked out.
Well, they call him Rockin' Ron, and that's why he's been KO'd his last 4 times now. And boom, the left hook. And there is what happens when you get hit by Tua.
David Tua versus Lorenzo Pool, 1993. In his second professional fight, David faced American journeyman Lorenzo Pool. Less than a minute into the fight, Tua dropped Pool with a straight left hand, then finished him moments later in the first round for another early knockout. David Tua versus Alfredo Naras, 1993. Tua's next opponent was Alfredo Naras, who stood no chance against the Samoan powerhouse. David knocked him out with just 30 seconds remaining in the first round, ending the fight with a brutal uppercut. Tua's knockout streak continued, and he made short work of veteran journeyman Bruce Johnson in his 7th bout. David Tua versus Bruce Johnson, 1994. David dropped Johnson twice in the first 2 rounds.
Duva. And down in the first round.
Before finishing him in the second at 44 seconds.
Third, this has been a dark round to Tua, but perhaps...
David Tua versus Ken Lacusta, October 1994. By October 1994, Tua was facing increasingly difficult opponents. His bout against Canadian Ken Lacusta proved to be challenging in the early rounds, as Lacusta's clinching tactics frustrated Tua's attack. However, in round 4, David unleashed a powerful combination that sent Lacusta to the canvas, securing the knockout. David Tua versus Cecil Coffey, December 1994. In December 1994, Tua faced American Cecil Coffey, who had an impressive 28-6-2 record. Despite Coffey's knockout ability, he was knocked out himself by Tua in less than 30 seconds into the opening round. Tua's left hook was again the weapon of choice.
Looking at Tyson, his earlier bouts, don't take any notice of perhaps the little bit of
David Tua versus Bruce Seldon, March 1995. Tua's next opponent, Bruce Seldon, was overwhelmed by David's power in their first encounter in March 1995. He was dropped twice in the opening round before Tua ended the fight at the bell, demonstrating the sheer dominance of his punching power. David Tua versus Dan Murphy, May 1995. In his 19th professional fight, David squared off against veteran journeyman Dan Murphy. It took Tua 5 rounds to get the job done, but when the opportunity presented itself, he landed a crushing blow that ended the fight. David Tua versus Mauricio Villas, August 1995. By August 1995, Tua's knockout streak was in full force as he faced Mexican Mauricio Villas in a 10-round bout. Villas proved to be tough, but Tua's relentless punches wore him down, and in round 6, a brutal right hand sent Villas to the canvas for the final time.
Good right hand by Tua, and down goes Villas from the uppercut.
David Tua versus Bruce Seldon, January 1996. In January 1996, David's return fight against Bruce Seldon ended with a second-round knockout, continuing his unbeaten run. David Tua versus John Ruiz, March 1996. Tua's next challenge came in the form of American John Ruiz in his 28th fight. Ruiz, who had previously captured the WBC title, was overwhelmed in just 19 seconds by Tua's left hook. This was another quick knockout that showcased Tua's incredible power at the highest level.
Hard left hand by Tua. Ruiz is rocked in the first 20 seconds of the bout. Down goes Ruiz. He takes a vicious left hand shot.
David Tua versus Anthony Cooks, 1996. In the following months, Tua continued to show his dominance, with knockout wins over Anthony Cooks and undefeated Darrell Wilson, and the 1992 Olympic semi-finalist David Tyson. Tua was unstoppable as he stormed through opponents, each time leaving a trail of victims knocked out by his devastating left hand. David Tua versus Ike Ibeabuchi, November 1997. However, in November 1997, Tua faced his first defeat at the hands of Nigerian Ike Ibeabuchi in a highly anticipated clash for the WBC title. Despite the loss, Tua's career remained on track, and he quickly bounced back with victories over Jeff Lacey, Nate Tubbs, and Eric Curry. David Tua versus Michael Moorer, May 1998. In May 1998, David took on former world champion Michael Moorer and knocked him out in 30 seconds. This performance solidified Tua's reputation as one of the most dangerous men in the heavyweight division.
10, not for 12. Get off his head. As David Tua gets in 2 body punches early, and down goes Moore.
David Tua versus Robert Daniels, 99-9. David continued his march toward a world title, knocking out fighters like Robert Daniels and Gary Bell in the early rounds. Despite his immense power, Tua struggled to secure a world championship belt, as he lost a series of title fights to Lennox Lewis, Chris Bird, and others. David Tua vs. Chris Bird, 2000. Tua's career took a downturn after his loss to Bird in 2000.
Bird showing his hand speed. David willing to bit frustrated by the fact he can't land a big cut tonight. Look at this. David giving it his all right to the bell. There's the
mandatory challenger for the IBF heavyweight crown, Chris Bird.
And after a series of comeback fights, David eventually retired with a record of 52-5-2, still one of the most feared punchers in boxing history. His career is marked by an impressive number of knockouts, but despite his incredible talent, Tua never won a world title. His legacy, however, is cemented as one of the most dangerous boxers to ever step inside the ring. Tua's left hook will forever be remembered as one of the most devastating punches in heavyweight boxing history. Which of David Tua's fights is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content.